All right. Let's see what VP, Vice President Harris, running for president right now, Second Gentleman Mark, October 7, Hamas attacks on Israel. Let's see how they...
In a few moments, Doug and I will plant a tree here on the grounds of the residence of the Vice President of the United States. And we dedicate this tree to the 1,200 innocent souls in an act of pure evil on October 7, 2023, who were massacred by Hamas terrorists. 46 of our fellow Americans were killed in this brutal terrorist attack, including a singer from Missouri who died shielding her son from bullets, an academic and peace activist who studied in Seattle and who was the grandson of Holocaust survivors, and a dancer from California who was killed alongside her fiancé while attending the Nova Music Festival.
Can you imagine the coverage of the fucking 43,000 dead Palestinians, all that had similar dreams, aspirations, like people who were committed to a life of education, you know, things of that nature? No, of course not. You wouldn't have enough time to fucking talk about it. This is, once again, exclusively humanizing Israelis and simultaneously omitting the humanity of Palestinians. Make no fucking mistake, okay? And I'm not even going to play these fucking games. I know that people will be like, Hasan, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you act like October 7 wasn't an atrocity? It's been 12 months, okay? If you cared about the humanity of all people, you would have stopped Israel a long fucking time ago and given a lot of these people in Israel the time to fucking grieve instead of using the slain as a mechanism to do genocide, like you made the dead party to your actions, okay? It's gross. It's a super gross, super fucking shallow way of analyzing and contextualizing the situation. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. That's it. Sorry. You don't care. You do not give a shit. Does this help the election though? Fuck no, dude. What do you mean? It's like Biden's least popular policy is the continuation of Israel's genocide, is literally his least popular policy. He's losing to Trump by like 25, 30 points. And Kamala Harris is like desperately ran in that exact same direction since she became the candidate for no reason, like literally zero reason whatsoever.
I am devastated by the pain and loss that occurred on October 7, and Doug and I pray for the family and loved ones of all of those who were lost, and may their memories be a blessing. Today, I know many Jews will be reciting and reflecting on the Jewish prayer for mourning, the Kaddish. The words of the prayer are not about death.
By the way, this omission is the exact same false narrative that was presented on October 7, as though this was the pivotal act, the first step in this Israeli war, okay? Because Israel did October 7 numbers every time they fucking invaded Gaza, every single time prior to October 7, okay? And to not mention that, or the 75 years of apartheid, or the numerous other forms of dominating the Palestinian population and the ethnic displacement that had to have happened in order for Israel to even exist, within the context of how October 7 could have happened, is the exact same shit that she's doing here, which is never covering and never offering any lip service, even no recognition whatsoever to the Palestinians that have been ruthlessly slaughtered for 12 months and continue to be slaughtered every single day with the bombs that she and her administration is gladly fucking shipping off to Israel. Okay? These are monstrous genocidal people. Okay? They are giant pieces of shit. I do not give a fuck about them. I do not give a fuck about their opinions. I do not care about their incredibly fucking hollow statements here. Oh, October 7 was so sad is absolutely unimportant here. The real reason why she's doing this is to remind people why Israel has to continue turning up the genocide dial. Okay? Again, 2 decades of relative peace was shattered on October 7. Relative peace doing an unimaginable amount of weightlifting here. Relative peace for who? Relative peace for the Israelis that were living inside of the apartheid regime, sheltered from the victimhood, sheltered from the worst aspects of said apartheid regime, the violent ways in which it has to exist. Yeah, relative peace for them. October 7 was the one instance where there was no peace, where that violence was actually distributed back inside of Israel. A violence born out of desperation, a violence born out of apartheid and permanent occupation for a group of individuals who saw no way out but to fight their way out. That's it. That's literally it. And that same omission exists right here, okay?
It is a prayer about our enduring belief in God, even in our darkest moments. So as we reflect on the horrors of October 7, let us please be reminded that we cannot lose faith.
Yeah, the planting of the tree is also symbolic, which is the eco-terrorism that Israel engages in. We've talked about this quite a bit, obviously, which is so insidious and crazy. You give money to Israel to plant trees, not realizing that that tree planting mission is happening on top of the olive groves that once were there, that were destroyed by the Israeli occupying force, on top of Arab villages where Palestinians lived for hundreds of fucking years, in an effort to westernize the land and make it seem more western facing. It is ecocide. It's eco-terrorism.
The Jewish philosopher Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel wrote, and I quote, "Religion begins with a consciousness that something is asked of us." So in this moment, on the one-year commemoration of October 7, what is asked of us? What is asked of us? First and foremost, I believe that we must never forget. I will never forget October 7, and the world must never forget. What?
Like, yeah, never forget. I know. Never forget means like, just for 9/11, just for October 7, always forget if Israel is, please forget all the things that Israel has done to the Palestinians since then. Please don't even think about it, actually. Just think about this.
What is asked of us? We must work to ensure nothing like the horrors of October 7 can ever happen again. And on this solemn day, I will restate my pledge to always ensure that Israel has what it needs to defend itself, and that I will always work to ensure the safety and security of the Jewish people here and around the world. What is asked of us? We must reunite the hostages held in Gaza with their families, and I will never stop fighting for the release of all the hostages, including the American citizens, living and deceased. Omer.
Unless they're fucking killed by Israel, in which case, suck my dick, for the record. You can't reflect on 10/7 without reflecting on everything that came after and what like 80% of her base would like her to renounce, or what came before it. Because what came before it is also pretty fucking significant. If you personally think this kind of hatred materialized amongst the Palestinian population in fucking Gaza out of nowhere, then you're delusional. You are no different than a fucking QAnon supporter, okay? The only difference is it's like if every fucking media outlet was worse than Fox News in terms of like repeating this QAnon narrative. That's it. And people still genuinely do believe that. They're like, oh, no, these guys are like ancient anti-Semitism. They have that ancient anti-Semitism in their hearts. That's why they did October 7.
Idan, Sagi, Keith, Judy, God.
October 7 is best explained how you think is Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. That's it. Or in Arabic, the Warsaw Intifada, as a matter of fact.
And Ite, what is asked of us? We must uphold the commitment to repair the world, an idea that has been passed on throughout generations of the Jewish people and across many faiths. And to that end, we must work to relieve the immense suffering of innocent Palestinians in Gaza who have experienced so much pain.
If she dude. She's mentioning the Palestinians. Come on, we have to relieve the Palestinian pain in Gaza.
And loss over the year. What is asked of us? We must continue to see light amidst the darkness. As the late Rabbi Jonathan Sachs said, a people that can walk through the valley of the shadow of death and still rejoice is a people that cannot be defeated by any force or fear.
Bro, you're just describing Palestinians. What the fuck? Straight up, like that perfectly fits the Palestinian existence and experience.
That is why today we plant a pomegranate tree, which in Judaism is a symbol of hope and righteousness. So for years to come, this pomegranate tree will stand here, spreading its roots and growing stronger, to remind future vice presidents of the United States, their families, and all who pass through these grounds, not only of the horror of October 7th, but the strength and the endurance of the Jewish people. It will remind us all not to abandon the goal of peace, dignity.
I do personally think it's like deeply anti-Semitic and gross to deliberately and vociferously tie Judaism, Jewish culture, Jewish history to Israel's current acts, Israel's genocidal ambition. I will never stop saying that because it is deeply and grossly anti-Semitic. I will not stop saying that even if there are very loud Jewish Zionists in the United States of America and in the Western world that also tie this aspect back to their own shared history. It's still fucking gross. It's still wrong. I don't give a fuck if you say that. It is ridiculous. Okay? Like, it should probably maybe cause a little bit of confusion how much Nazis and ultra Zionists align on this one issue. Nazis would be like, oh, dual loyalty. You know, Jews have dual loyalty. Jews have dual loyalty. They're all monolithic in their understanding. They only care about Israel. That's the only thing they care about. They control the media as an aspect of this. And then Zionist Israel defenders say the same shit. They're like, no, you don't understand. All Jews are Zionists. All Jews care about is Israel. That's the number one thing that they care about. I do not understand how people fail to comprehend how damaging this narrative is, how much this discourse goes a long way in recontextualizing the interpersonal relationships that American citizens have with other American Jews, okay? They do not see it. They do not see the larger picture. They do not see the larger picture at all. It is terrifying. It is terrifying to me as a person who cares about Palestinian emancipation and as a person who cares about ensuring that anti-Semitism does not fester. I despise it. It is a double Monty that they engage with. In one single blow, they literally cast aside Palestinians as subhuman while simultaneously saying all Jews are monolithic in their commitment to Israel's violent ambitions, no matter where they are in the world. It is a falsehood and a very dangerous one. Holy shit. And I will not stop doing that no matter what. I will not stop speaking truth in this regard, no matter how many motherfuckers say I'm anti-Semitic. Okay? They can suck my dick from the back.
And security for all. And it will remind us all to always have faith. Thank you, and I will now turn it over to the second gentleman, my husband, Doug.